نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهدي الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلوات الله وسلامه عليه أما بعد. Inshallah ta'ala, I'm going to not try to be too long as we are having bad storms here and I don't want the internet to interrupt us, inshallah, due to the storms. Tonight we have reached the 5th ayat from Surah al-Fajr, where Allah Azza wa Jalla says, Alam tara kayfa fa'ala rabb... No, asif. He says, Hal fi dhalika qasamul ladhi hijr. Hal fi dhalika qasamun ladhi hijr. Hal is a question word. It makes the sentence after it a question. So, for instance, you are sitting, are you sitting? Like this. Hal, you sitting, are you sitting? Right? Fi dhalika, in that, is there in that qasamun, an oath? Like we talked about the waw al-qasam. Qasam is an oath. Li the hijr. Li here means for. The possessor of, the companion of, hijr, and hijr here means aql, intellect. So is there in that a oath for those who have intellect? He's referring to the oath, the 5 oaths that he made previously. Wal-Fajr, wal-Layal al-Ashr, wal-Shaf'i wal-Watr, wal-Layli idha yasr. Hal fi dhalika qasabul ladhi hijr. Is there in that an oath for those who have intellect? And what he means by oath here, he means is there in there what is sufficient for those who have an intellect? Is it sufficient that I swore by those things for those who have an intellect? And we'll see more about that in the tafsir, inshallah ta'ala. Hijr here is another word for aql or intellect. Tayyib. Let's go over the grammatical analysis, inshallah ta'ala. Hal is harfu istifham. Hal is a particle of questioning, as we said in the English language. And it shows the greatness of what it shows the greatness of what he had been swearing about. Fi dhalika, fi is harf jar, dhalika is ismu majroor, but since it is a ismu ishara and is mabni ala fatha, it's majroor mahalan in its position, but it is mabni in its construction. Hal fi dhalika qasamun. Qasamun is your khabar marfu', your khabar marfu'. Lidhi, the lam here is harf jar. The is ismu majroor wa alam jarhi ayya, because it's from the asma'ul khamsa. The comes from dhu. It can be the, that, dhu, right? Or dhu, that, the, right? And it's from the asma'ul khamsa, so therefore it is majroor with a ya. And hijr, hijr here is mudaf ilay, majroor, the hijr, mudaf ilay, and hijr is majroor. This is the grammatical analysis. As for the tafsir of this ayah, and we have to keep in mind, in my mind, some of the tafsir that we've brought has been amazing. Not that because I brought it, because of what the scholars have put forth. Some of the connections between the ayats and some of the different interpretations have been amazing. And sometimes the individual ayats tafsir might not be so profound. And so we have to keep that in mind. If we keep it together as a whole, it will be amazing. And sometimes one ayat might be blander than the other. So in this ayat, which, as we described previously, that there are always 3 things when it comes to the qasam. The adatul qasam, the thing that the tool that is used to swear, like here we have wa ba, wa ta, and the word uqsim or ahlif, right? Then we have the muqsam alayh. What is he swearing upon? Which here we have al-Fajr, layal and ashar, al-shaf, watar, and al-layli idha yasr. Those 5 things. Those are the muqsam alayh. What are muqsam bihi, rather? So the muqsam alayh, those are the muqsam bihi. The muqsam alayh, what is he swearing about? Some of the scholars say this ayah is the muqsam alayh. Hal fi dhalika qasamul ladhi hijr. As if he's swearing all of that just to say, is there not in all of this that I'm telling you about enough to suffice you, enough for you to reflect on this book and your creation and the 10 days and so on. However, many of the scholars disagree with that, and they say that ayat number 14 is the muqsam alayh. Inna rabbaka labil mirsad. Indeed, your Lord is waiting and watching. They say this is the muqsam. This is the muqsam alayh, ayat number 14. Anyway, Jelly saying, is there in the swearing of him, of his swearing with these things, al-Fajr, and the 10 nights, and the even and the odd, and the night when it departs, is there not enough in that which will make you content and be sufficient for you, for the one who has an intellect, so that you can reflect upon your life and realize of why you are here, and that it's not for naught, it's not for play and amusement, right? And then Allah Azza wa Jal, He knows, right? And that He swore upon these things, and these things are indeed great, and He wants us to reflect upon them, and they are amazing, and they point towards the truth. So therefore, a person should, the intellect should reflect upon them and take them as a lesson. This is the meaning of this ayah individually. And as we get further, it'll all become clearer, especially for those who say that ayat number 14 is the muqsam alayh, then it will become even clearer, inshallah ta'ala. With that, we'll conclude, and we're trying to make this easy and brief for everyone. If there's any questions, I always have my phone close to me, and when a comment comes, then I look at it. I try to respond as soon as possible. So feel free to ask. Jazakumullahu khairan. Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdika. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. We'll come back in around 12 minutes for the first ayah from Surah al-Mulk. Assalamu alaikum.